What's up, guys? I'm Dom Rosso, and you're watching RedWolf TV.
Hey guys, Tim here of RedWolf TV. Today we're going to continue with the review of the PTS Masada OEM'd by KWA. Now I only say that because I've already done a sneak preview going through most of its features, and I highly recommend watching that review right here, only because we're going to continue with the rest of its features as well as taking it to the range later on. So, let's move on, shall we? We are only continuing with the review mainly because there is no difference between the production model and the prototype we had in the sneak preview. For example, the fire selector is still incredibly stiff, and to go from semi to safe, I would suggest using your index finger if you are right-handed. The charging handle is also a little bit wobbly, but that is done on purpose. There is also a little catch right in front, so you'll need to pull the charging handle back a little bit before you're allowed to pull it. I did mention that you can switch it over to the other side, but what I didn't mention is that you could also turn it upside down for more variety. In the sneak preview, I mentioned that there was storage space inside the pistol grip, but you can completely remove it, and there's an air-sealed container for your batteries and or candy. You can also change the stock to the AEG version, but you'll need an adapter and a buffer, of which something PTS will release in the near future. There's also another air-sealed container for some more batteries and candy. Another addition to the GBBR Masada is the Sling Point you can find on the left side. You could also find a QD Sling Point on the rear of a stock, which you can move to the other side, as well as two QD Sling Points at the rear of the foregrip. You can also remove the flash hider to reveal a 14mm CCW thread, so you can add a suppressor and or amplifier. If you didn't already know, PTS will be releasing a 10.5-inch CQB outer barrel as well as an 18-inch sniper outer barrel. But first you'll need to remove the foregrip as well as the outer barrel on the PTS Masada, which is not very difficult, though it may be rather stiff at some points. I'll get to that in a sec. First you'll need to remove the pin at the rear of the foregrip and then slide that forward. Remove the magazine, just in case. Lower the handle and press the button here as you turn it counterclockwise. And then just remove the outer barrel, which you could replace with the CQB one or the sniper version, and putting it back together is the same except just in reverse. Insert it like so, turn the handle and you can hear it click to completely air seal it, and then add the foregrip. And it's just that easy. So where does the recoil come from? It actually comes from the one-piece bolt and spring, which is much shorter than an M4 bolt, meaning it has a much higher rate of fire. The interesting thing is, if you pull down on the nozzle, instead of finding an O-ring, you'll find a completely full seal yellow plastic piece, so it should shoot with more consistency, though if it does break, you're going to have to wait till PTS release the spare parts. Just as a reminder, it uses a System 7.2 style hop-up unit, so you'll need this key to help adjust the hop like so. That's about it, folks, so let's take it to a range and chrono the thing. So for the chrono test, we're using 0.2 gram 6mm BBs with clean gas. The magazine has a capacity of 38 BBs and it clocked in at an average of 435 FPS. We are now at Milsim CQB and Training Center at the 20-meter range. We have a target set up at the other end, and we're going to take a couple shots at it. All right, let's have a look at that. So I was in a comfortable kneeling position from 20 meters out, getting a groupie about the size of my hand with one or two flyers. There's much more of a vertical variance. That only means that the hop-up needs time to wear in, giving about a couple hundred shots, and you could possibly use 0.35s instead of 0.3s that I was using for this particular test to get a far better grouping. So let's see what it's like in full auto, shall we? So So this is where the fun begins, shooting it in full auto, basically a mag dump, my favorite kind of dump. And the bolt locks back too. Actually, ooh, it can power stroke as well. That's pretty nice. The rate of fire on this thing is pretty amazing, mainly because of that smaller and lighter bolt. But what we're going to do is do a second mag dump. I've refilled it with 38 BBs, but I haven't charged it with gas. I'm going to see how many times we can go through the magazine with only one gas charge. Oh. Right. Unfortunately, we can only go through it 1.5 times. I wasn't able to go through the entire thing. But that is perfectly understandable. I mean, who's going to go through one magazine twice in full auto? That's just unheard of. You could probably go through 2 or even 3 magazines in semi-auto only. So what I'm going to do is refill it with BBs, charge it with gas, and we'll see what the trigger response is like. That trigger response is very crisp. There's hardly any slack to it. It's a little bit heavier than the MKM. So if I do increase the rate of fire, yeah, it does get a little bit tiring. So it clocked in rather consistently at 435 FPS, though you do need to give the hop-up a little bit of time to wear in to get the more precise shots. The recoil on this reminded me of the GHK G5 because of its high rate of fire and the polymer build. It was so much fun. And every time you pull the trigger, you hear that significant ting at the end. It is very satisfying. So for this cool product and many more, go to our website at www.redwolfairsoft.com and see you guys on the next episode of RedWolf TV. I'd like to thank Milsim CQB and Training Center for allowing us to use their amazing range again. If you'd like to know more about them, click on the link in the description below. Oh, just to let you know, we are working on a Red Wolf movie and its release date is next week, so keep an eye out. Pornstash out. Do subscribe to our channel so you can keep up to date with our latest and coolest videos.